Here we go, folks. Bubber here, and German Highlander this time around. My own build of like Abzan combos against black-white tokens mid-range. Well, lots of back and forth, lots of interaction. Let's see how it goes. I'll post a link to my deck list, or at least the core of it, in the description below. And then I'll try to give you the deck list for black-white tokens at some point in a few days. Gotta ask my friend about that, and also soon I'll try to get the deck list for the Naya Zoo deck that has been featured on this channel some time ago. Didn't quite catch who won the Daro, but it will be pretty easy to see. Tokens take a free mull to 7. I really do like his deck. Mine can be improved significantly. There are a few very flexible spots in the deck that, you know, can be basically almost anything. It's like I could have the Hulk package and pattern, or you can basically just put in there almost whatever combo you want. You can even put in some Necroticus package if you want to, but you shouldn't overdo it. I think before you add extra combos into the deck, you should add more tutors in it. I don't think I have still as many tutors in the deck as I should be having. Okay, tokens kept the second 7. I started off with Viserys in turn 1 of the courtyard, which actually emits a mana type on turn 1, which is pretty bizarre. It's kind of crazy. And then second planes and the Gravedigger's Cage, which is really weird. I would rather have a relic, and I hope he does have a relic in the deck. I think he do. The Cage main deck is so random. Temple Garden tap, just passing the turn. Bristle Hand, his turn 3 is the swamp into Kambal, which might be slightly annoying coming forward, because after all he's sort of an aggro deck that just happens to be able to go pretty long if needed. Overgrown Tomb tapped. I think I was sitting on Abrupt Decay and something, and a Path to Exile, I think. Here's an Inquisition of Kozilek, and I think I should have gone for a Path on the Kambala. I just didn't want to give him the land here. The Cage is actually worse than the Relic for me, because it shuts down Corridor Calling, Collected Company, stuff like that, all the modern stuff. Also, it shuts down this 6-drop that I will figure out on the later, because first of all I haven't been playing with that Billower all that much, and definitely haven't faced a Cage in Highlander for sure. Just a forest on turn 4. Just small like Christmas alteration with the corrector pen. Not done by me. Don't think I'll be able to make it that neat. Yeah, we're just like passing turns around because we probably drew too much reaction. Not much of actual action. Vault of Archangel is something. Now I'm like thinking, oh yeah, so now I remember that there is a Cage, so I can't actually find anything from the Billower, and I think like would I rather like play something else instead maybe, but then again the other card in my hand is a collected company, so which is also like shut down, at least below where it's a big body on board, and with Vault, like just gain some life, etc. It just fetches end of turn a swamp. Not sure why, maybe just to thin his deck. It's a pretty off chance, pretty small chance that actually would be relevant. But then on the other hand, he's just black-white. He doesn't have stuff like, let's say, Tireless Tracker, so I don't think it really matters. There is no Emeria Angel or stuff like that. No retreats, so there is no benefit of actually keeping it. And there are no blue cantrips, so yeah, I guess he literally has zero incentive to keep it up. The fetch. Okay, yeah, he does have a few lands. We see a Council Judgment in his hand. He's gonna clear the path first just to see what's up. Maybe he would see that he would rather keep the Judgment for something else, but no, like he sees a couple lands, including Wasteland and a Collected Company, which gets duressed because it's the only target. Then Judgment just to get rid of the clock. Why not? I really need a lot of help here, a lot of top decks to actually get back into this game. There are no targets for this Wasteland yet, but I might as well just play it out. I think I'm not sure, maybe I should have just played the fetch instead. Perhaps I was just afraid of like extra discard. He doesn't have any like ultimate non-basic heat, so yeah. There's a Gideon blasting the 5 mana Gideon. Here's just a mana dork that can block something profitably with the death touch from the Vault, but then he's probably gonna plus the Gideon, so it will be forced to attack. I will be forced to attack into it, but I'm not sure. Because of stuff like Fauna Shaman, maybe there was incentive to actually keep the elf. I don't think that day actually had Evolutionary Leap in the deck. I think there was a later addition, but I don't know. I think Evolutionary Leap is much better in the Commander version. I think I normally don't feature it in the Highlander build. Shambling Van, so I get basically a target for my Wasteland. Not sure if I wanna use it up just now. I could hold on to it, it's fine. Okay, so what happened there was that he didn't anticipate some spot removal at instant speeds. He just attacked with the Gideon, and it doesn't actually gain indestructible, it just prevents all damage to it, but cut still kills it. Wasteland gets rid of the Shambling Vans, just a small attack for one with the Find Her Else. Fetch cannot get me Dried Herb anyway. I think in my build there's kinda like little incentive to run it, but once I add something like Greenstone Zenith, which I think is still legal in the format, then I can cast it on turn 1 for 0 to get the Arbor. Stuff like that. And then there is an incentive. I think the Zenith is good enough reason to actually run it. And everyone being occasional response to Liliana, but yeah. Zenith pretty much the main reason. Okay, so he's casting Demonic Theater for something, because I don't know what it is. We'll find out later what that was. Probably some value. 4 mana, yeah, that's probably what it was. 4 mana Gideon. Get the get a 2/2 token. Now I need to draw some value or some removal. Anything along the lines of Maelstrom Pulse, Oblivion Ring, stuff like that. I'm not sure if Banishing Light is gonna be strictly like Vindicate, moving on, or whether I will play all the 3 mana spells that get rid of any permanent. Well, Vindicate can get rid of lands, so yeah. I think it's one of the cards that you have to have in this deck because it destroys all sorts of things, including occasional like Maze of Ith, Glacial Chasm, things like that. So not only, you know, stuff like a Cage, for example, or a Needle. That could be crazy. Actually, kind of like Abzan Charm because in the Highlander, having exile removal might be cool. Actually, so there was an argument here whether to keep it up in case he animates Gideon, then he gets rid of Gideon. But because I'm a combo deck and I have some champ blockers, etc., maybe there's a I think it's better just to try to draw into something rather than just get rid of one of his threats, which is not like really insane. So it doesn't really have an ultimate technically. Well, okay, it kind of does, but it's not really ultimate in the traditional sense. And here's a ballista for free, tapping the elf. So now I can block the tokens and possibly get rid of the Gideon this way. I can take some damage from the Planeswalker. And yeah, actually if I get to untap, I just basically sharpshoot the tokens or whatever is on my way because of the vault. So that's a cool interaction. But Ballista of course mainly is here because of the Devoted Druid plus Vizier package. So it's a combo kill. I think I later did put Ronas back into the deck. I'm not sure. I think I definitely play it in the Commander build, but I think it's a bit too clunky for Highlander, which is a bit more proactive, just a faster one-on-one format. Here's a Wrath of God. So he really needed to get rid of the Ballista before he gets out of control. Basically, what was that? I put Gideon to 1 loyalty or something. He animates it, smashes in for 5. I'm at 10. But yeah, any creature is good. Any big value spell is good. So a lot of great top decks here. Could be even more if this build wasn't like slightly casual. Oh yeah, this is actually MVP of both Highlander build and Commander, Whisperwood Elemental. Basically it's great because you have a creature deck, so you kind of like draw an extra card every turn. It's a fine threat on its own, and then it kind of protects you from a sweeper. Like really been very happy with this inclusion. Draws a Soaring, which is gonna be pretty devastating for me, at least in the short run, even though we're already in late game basically. Okay, just makes a token and passes, and I think he just places the Soaring or something so that he can gain some life. I don't know. I think he just... Did he minus Soaring to get the emblem, I guess? I think he just get the emblem. Well, I can still attack because he doesn't actually get rid of the Whisperwood here. And I still trade with the Manifest into his ally token. Okay, getting done. He actually doesn't want to save it because he thinks it's not worth it, but oh wait, I think Gideon was just at like 2 loyalty or something, so it was dying anyway, and yeah, expending a token here doesn't really do much because he still needs to protect Sorin. Yeah, another pretty important card I think for Highlander builds, Siege Rhino. It's just because red aggro decks or some tempo decks um, could be annoying for this deck, and this is just good body that you don't take damage from when they have Eidolon in play or something like that. And yeah, I think I cut it from the commander build because, well, even though it's each opponent, so you get to train everybody for free, but it's not really relevant. You're not that kind of deck, and you would, in multiplayer you only gain free life, which is like not that significant. Okay, Spectral Procession, more champ blockers, and also the snake dude, so he's gonna get the 1/1 Death Touch snake every turn while he has the host. So yeah, he's put some significant defenses here, but Whisperwood, if it's not dealt with in the long run, it's gonna take over the game pretty much because it provides probably more value than Sorin. Rhino has trample. He can try to trade for Whisperwood. Not sure why am I attacking like that. Yeah, okay, so he went back down. A friend of us like overshadowing the board for a while. I don't quite remember whether any of these two manifests were creatures or just lands. Well, we're about to find out. I think one of them was a creature. Well, with the Volt I would gain a lot of life, all my stuff will have Death Touch, and then the Rhino with Death Touch and Trample like, is pretty good attacker. So yeah, activating the Volt. So Rhino gets rid of the snake plus the spirit. Then, because of the emblem or whatever, his token straight into my manifests. Yep. Rhino is gone, but it's fine. He's gonna get a new snake on his turn, but I get rid of the spirits. Well, I mean 2 spirits. Yeah, so one was a land and everyone was a spike feeder, which you don't want to flip really, because without the counters that you get from when it comes into play, so it's just a 0/0. So okay, Death Right, end of turn manifest from the elemental. I think I'm in 5 spot, again some lives, so I'm at 21, so he's gonna get another snake, but that's fine. It's actually funny how Whisperwood still works with a cage out. Okay, some yeah, we're just snaking with some ice cream plus some tea. I think this yeah, so this was a creature, Quasali Pride Mage, which can get rid of the cage if needed, which is quite alright bonus. So if I draw something that cares about the cage, I can get rid of it. So my opponent's still holding the fort, but running out of gas. The guy who makes the Death Touch snakes is really holding me back. Otherwise I would be just steamrolling pretty much. But at least he still didn't get an answer to the Whisperwood, of which there are quite a few in his build, so lucky in that sense. For Just thinking what to do here. I don't remember what was in my hand at that point, but I guess something important. Just counting like possible attacks and blocks. Probably want to keep everything around. Okay, here's a bestiary. I'll get to scry, and this is just end of turn manifest. But yeah, get to scry. Try to find some creatures. Yeah, so he had a pretty big bomb and the turn secured away. So bunch 6 1/1s with Sorin in play. This is actually pretty damn good. But I still have Vault active. I still have a pretty good board, so I don't know. It's pretty risky for him to try to shift into really aggressive mode here. Yeah, the game's too calm because this is a casual format, of course. At an FNM we will be playing at a much higher speed, but we're just talking a lot and chatting and joking. So his Wasteland takes care of my Vault, activate it in response, so that he doesn't actually have any good attacks here. Just actually one token with one flyer, cause like why not? He has a bunch of ways to clog the ground. So I need now to find the fire with the bestiary. Okay, end of turn. I just gain some life with the Death Rides, exiling his Campbell from the graveyard. It's a scry. That upkeep. Yeah, basically it needs some ways to get rid of the Soaring or some value creatures. Kept it on top. Yeah, just see how like much work Whisperwood has done this game. Flipping another manifest, that's Fauna Shaman. It can be activated this turn because it was the same card. It's not summoning sick this turn anymore. Okay, using it, pitching some card, Courser of Crufix, to find something else. Whatever I cast now here with an extra green mana, I can like draw, etc. So I can find like Eternal Witness, get back, you know, some answer to Sorin, for example. That's an option. Don't know if Witness was already in my graveyard. There's also Den Protector as a functioning like as a second Witness in the deck, just because it's a singleton format. Another card that I've been like pretty happy with. Of course, Witness is most of the time better, but then Den Protector is it's a bit more flexible though, so it has its own upsides, I should say. Yeah, I got quite a few options here, but pretty much something like Witness for spot removal, for Soaring, or for his creature that makes those things is good. So fetch up. Angel Sanctions do not have spare mana to. No, actually I do. So with Death Right, so just exile a land from his graveyard so that I had an extra mana to pay for the statue. So with Angel I get to draw one extra. Yeah, now I have a few good targets here. I think in the long run it's best to take out the Soaring. I have a good board, so as long as he doesn't draw like a mass removal, I'm good. Of course, if he draws just spot removal and gets rid of the Angela unlocks his Soaring, then yeah, I'm again kinda in a bit of a trouble. Yeah, get another manifest at the end of turn. Okay, now it's just drawing from the angel, I think, after the shuffle and everything. Definitely not attacking yet. I need some blockers, so another manifest. Yeah, he needs a lot of stuff to get back here. I think he just drew a Blessed Alliance, which is not gonna do a whole lot here. Does not attack because it's not really, he wouldn't really gain much out of it. And without soaring, his board is actually pretty weak. Okay, Fauna Shaman cycles Galactic, which also I quite like in this deck. Protection from like dominations and verdicts and stuff like that, and all the nasty planeswalkers, which also might be a liability, even though you have quite a few answers to them. So Angel Sanctions is like a flexible, interesting revoker. I don't like Needle in this build, I only like it in decks with Trinket Mage and stuff like that. And then I have like a lot of creature tutors in the deck, which makes me wonder whether Revoker is good, but Angel Sanction is much better as a card on its own. So this is why it's in there. Plus in these colors you do have a lot of good answers to permanents, actually. Okay, so get a Witness, it seems, or considering it at least. Okay, I could get something like I can straight out get a Archangel of Fern, and then I have Spike Feeder in my graveyard, so next turn I can get like a Witness, get back Spike Feeder, for example. I'm on 8 mana, well technically 9, so I can go Witness into, let's say, Archangel and draw an extra card, but then next turn I would need to find the Den Protector, some tutor or whatever, like to you know, get the Spike Feeder. Opt for Revelark here. Well, it's a good blocker, and I have an option to just cast it for 5 or evoke it for 6. I still get to draw an extra card of a Bestiary, I think, because I still like cast the Lark technically. Okay, so before I cast the Lark, whichever way, because I do want it to actually do its job, so I eat the Pride Mage to get rid of his cage. Then we evoke the Revelark to get back Spike Feeder and something. Just get more value on board. I hope before this turn I didn't mess up anything with the cage. Okay, so what is it? Yeah, 7 mana with the Thread up, evoking Lark and paying for the Bestiary, so I do get to draw. Lark goes away. Brings back Spike Feeder and Courser. Yeah, better boards, bit more draw capability with the Courser, bit more life gain, so why not? Evolutionary Leap on top, also pretty good. So okay, I did have it in my Highlander build then after all. Yeah, I think it's pretty good, especially if you keep in the deck cards like Whisperwood, etc., and you play with Revelark and things that benefit from it. So yeah, it's pretty good. It allows you to grind in a long game against control decks. Leap gets manifested though, which is kind of a bummer. I'm not sure if it's a Matrix. I think manifest with Whisperwood at the end of each turn. It's a must ability. But it's fine. Basically, he didn't draw any good interaction, so now I just get to find find the Archangel and just have free billing life and little attackers. And even though he has a bunch of tokens, but he has only one flyer. And what was it? I tried to go fancy here, it seems. Oh yeah, so I just find a creature from the top of my deck, so which I draw, so that I get something to cycle with the fauna. But he does have one flyer on board. I have a source of plowshares to get rid of his flying tokens, so the Angel Sanctions actually will get through for lethal. So yeah, this is game 1, folks. More will be coming once I get to edit them and well, more like narrate. Sadly, I'm not that amazing at editing. If somebody wants to help me, sometimes feel free to contact me for pretty edits. Yep. Our games in this with this matchup we recorded during that session were also like pretty interesting, quite grindy, back and forth. So stay tuned for those. I think there were a few more tapes. Oh yeah. I believe black-white tokens versus Naya aggro will be another matchup I will be bringing you in the coming days. And yeah, remind me guys to find the deck list for this black-white deck and for Naya, because I can't record video like deck tags for those, but at least I can bring you deck lists. But yeah, I'll be trying to figure out like what to say for video deck tag for my Abzan, even though it's changing a little bit from time to time, because I'm trying to figure out which cards work, which cards don't. But yeah, in the past week found out a few gems for it, like this Whisperwood and Angela Sanctions, for example, a few other things. But still didn't put a few staples in here, which I think should belong to this archetype, like Summoner's Pact, Greenson Zenith, things of that nature. Sadly, you can't put Nature Order in here, because I believe it's still banned, even though it might be unbanned again at some point, but I don't think it's anytime soon. But yeah, basically play all the good tutors, I think, because this deck is so, I wouldn't say focused, but kinda hoping to get to the combos in each game. So Worldly Tutor is fine. All the cheap tutors are fine, even all those that basically spell card at disadvantage. Okay, don't forget to subscribe. Until the next sales, bye.